Have you ever been accused of being a perfectionist? Or does it sometimes get in the way of being most effective as a manager and leader? Come on then, hop on, let's go for a ride and we'll explore that.
One of the challenges we set ourselves as bike riders is to ride each corner perfectly, pick the best line, no last minute comfort braking just before the corner, lean lots of course, and accelerate out smoothly, glancing ever so surreptitiously in our rear view mirror to see if I was faster than the bike behind me. A mistake when riding is usually very obvious to those following you. I assess a rider not by the mistakes they might make though, but by how they talk about them afterwards. Do they make excuses, blame the road surface and tyres, it's just not their fault? In other words, they're trying to appear perfect if it wasn't for all those other factors messing up things. The best riders happily admit though that they have messed up and they laugh about it, share what they learned, or ask for advice. They're relaxed about making mistakes. After all, mistakes are often an indicator you're pushing your limits and trying to get better.
So, let's talk about you at work. So, what does this have to do with your leadership? Well, are you trying to be the perfect leader yourself? Are you avoiding mistakes or being seen to make them? It's okay, your team don't need you to be perfect. In fact, they'll even be wondering, what are you trying to hide? So today I want to cover 3 key reasons why you don't need to be perfect. The first reason is that if you don't make mistakes, no one learns. There's no innovation. And even more importantly, for some people, productivity can go down because everyone's running around trying to cover their backside or laying the blame at someone else's feet and not accepting responsibility for when things do go wrong. The second reason is that it dramatically increases trust. If you're strong enough to admit that you've made a mistake, they'll happily put their hands up and admit when they have too. And when you get increased trust between members of the team, between you and them, incredible things can happen. Now the third point, and this is one that often doesn't get raised, but if you've got people that you've identified in your team that you'd like to promote up so that you can then move on, then this will help with that. And that is, if you're willing to share your mistakes and what you've learned from them, then you allow others to put their hands up to go, hey, look, I want to do what you're doing, because they know they don't have to get everything right the first time. Now, what's the best way to get this message across to your team, apart from obviously what you say and do? That is to tell them stories of mistakes that you've made, what you've learned from them. And be strong enough to let them see that you're not always perfect. In fact, you're pushing your boundaries constantly and continuing to learn. And of course, one of the most famous stories comes from that CEO of IBM, Tom Watson, when he summoned a senior executive into his office. And the senior executive is standing there and he says, well, I guess you're wondering why I've called you in. And the executive says, well, I presume you're going to sack me because this mistake cost about $8 million, as the story goes. And Tom Watson turns to him and says, are you kidding? I'm not going to sack you. I've just invested $8 million in your education. Why would I want to sack you? So go out there, share your stories with your team. And the plus for you is that when things do go wrong and you need their help, they'll be far more supportive and you can enjoy that support. So let me know how you get on. I'd love to hear your results. Good luck.